I'm not going to tell you with all these guys around, but it's certainly when you're playing against Tim, you're not going to show him anything he hasn't seen. I think the key is understanding that you can't try to out-trick him. If you put your hands in there, he's going to get a foul. If you try to front him, he's going to push you up the lane and they throw it over top. If you don't double team him, he can still score one-on-one. If you double, he'll find an open guy. So you just can't give him more than one look. You got to keep him off the glass. And then you got to run. We feel like we can run with our bigs. But you're not going to fool Tim. He's seen everything in the book.
Is this one of the better teachable games, do you think? When you're facing, as you said, facing these Spurs teams who run the same offense for probably 2 decades, and they've been successful with it. The consistency that they have, that your young players are likely to see tonight.
I guess so. I mean, you can always learn from the best. Obviously, we're trying to win the game, so we don't want this to be a class. We're trying to win. So while we're playing the game, we don't want guys thinking about stuff like that. You got to go out there and play free, and you can't be out there thinking. You can only think about the things that you know you can do. But we just want to win. We didn't compete the first game the way that we're capable. The last game, they out-executed us down the stretch and basically just made more plays than we did down the stretch. So we're trying to win this game. That's our goal.
Over the last few games, what specifically have you been pleased the most with about the way your team is defending?
Gosh, we've been able to make plays. I think when you have a guy like AD who's blocking 6, 7, 8 shots, that says a lot about him covering up things at the rim. The last game, Alexi blocked a few shots and distracted a few, but our on-ball defense has been a bit better, not where we want it. We still need to guard the ball better, so our bigs don't have to help as much. When we don't have to help as much, our defense is a lot better.
Does it say something about the fight of this team, with the injuries y'all have had lately? You've won 5 of 7 games with some of these backups?
We've always had the fight. It's just a matter of closing games out or understanding the moment. We've been talking about that for a few weeks. We've been in games, but get a 10-point lead or it's a 3-point lead and we take a bad shot or have a bad turnover and it starts a run for the other team. We've had the fight. Now we're just trying to get all of our guys to understand these moments that the Spurs don't even have to talk about. They just know when it's time to strike, when they can go on a 15-0 run, and it's game over.
Monty, in this last handful of games, it's been more than just the on-ball defense.
Yeah, our weak side defense is a lot better. We've worked on that a ton. It's not something that you can, drill a few times in practice and think you're going to have it. I hate the fact that we have these short training camps because you don't get a chance to work on all that stuff. And when you have a new team, you're teaching it from scratch every year, so it just takes a lot of time to pick up the scheme that we have. But our weak side defense has gotten a lot better.
Monty, what is your thought process when choosing between Greg Stiesman and Ajinka on who gets to start next to Anthony Davis?
Not much thought at all. I just try to match up the way that we think is going to help us win the game. Alexi gives us some length in the beginning, and I think Greg gives us some toughness coming off the bench. And like I said, it can change from game to game. I just try to talk to the coaches about who do we think is going to be better for a group of games that we have coming up. We just feel like Alexi's, he has more confidence starting. For whatever reason, the rotation is a bit cleaner. But I don't want to get too deep about it. We just try to pick the right guy.
Thank you.